So consider this your home base, the place where you can find your deep yogic breath. Now slowly rise into a tabletop and extend your left leg straight out from your side so your foot is flat on the floor. Rise, stand on your knee, and with your left hand just resting on your thigh, reach your right arm overhead and slowly dive to the left. Try to keep your heart spiraling up so your chest doesn't cave, and keep your breath calm and deep. Slowly rise, and place your right hand on the ground past your mat so you can reach your left arm overhead and stretch your left side body. Again, keep your heart and chest open, and breathe so deep it's like you're massaging the body from the inside out. Walk your hands back to tabletop and switch sides. Extend your right leg straight out, foot flat. Reach your left arm overhead, and as you slowly dive to the right, allow your right hand to just slide down your thigh without placing a lot of weight into it. Rise, and place your left hand on the ground past your side. Reach your right arm overhead, and breathe deeply as you stretch and reach. Walk your hands back to tabletop and make your way to downward facing dog. Paddle out the legs, or try flipping to the tops of your feet and press a stretch into your ankles. Then settle into the pose and press your chest towards your thighs while tilting your tailbone high. On your next inhale, look up and bend your knees. As you exhale, step your feet behind your wrists at the top of your mat for a chest expansion. Interlace your hands behind your lower back, and with your knees slightly bent, let your head hang heavy as you press your knuckles up to the ceiling or let gravity take hold. Breathe really deep to create space in your upper back and chest. Release. Toe heel your feet together to touch, and slide your hands up your shins for halfway lift. Press your heart forward, pinch the shoulder blades together, and lengthen your spine. Target a stretch in your hamstrings by shifting some weight to the ball mounts of your feet, and hinge a little deeper in your hips. Forward fold with soft knees every time, and let your head hang heavy. On your next inhale, rise all the way up to mountain pose. Plug your fingers into the ceiling and relax your shoulders. Press your way down through your feet so you can stand tall from the crown of your head. On your next exhale, forward fold. Follow the breath all the way down. Knees are soft, head hangs heavy. Inhale, halfway lift for a long, flat back, and breathe. Target the opening in the hamstrings. Now plant your hands and step your feet back for chaturanga, high to low. You can always modify by taking the knees. Inhale, upward facing dog. Lift the knees, press up to the shoulders. And as you exhale, send it back, downward facing dog. Find your slow and calm breath, so we can vinyasa one breath, one movement. Next inhale, look up, bend the knees. As you exhale, step your feet to touch at the top of your mat. Inhale, halfway lift. exhale, fold. As you inhale, find mountain pose with a strong core and soft shoulders. Follow your exhale all the way down to fold. Inhale, halfway lift. As you exhale, chaturanga, high to low plank. Stay controlled. Upward facing dog as you breathe in. Downward facing dog as you breathe out. Take a big breath in. Slow breath out. Next inhale, look up, bend the knees. Exhale, step to the top of your mat. Toes and ankles touch. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, fold. This time, sit back into chair pose. Reach your hips back as if someone was scooting a chair up behind you. Tuck your tailbone down slightly to lengthen your lower back. And bring a little up dog to your chest. Relax the shoulders. And slowly fold. Next inhale, find halfway lift. Exhale to fold and step your left foot back. Nice long stance. Spin the back heel down and rise up for warrior one. Everything squares off to the top of your mat. Push your right hip back and left hip forward. Anchor down through the pinky side edge of your back foot and tuck your tailbone under to increase the opening in your left hip flexor. Breathe slow and deep. On your next exhale, plant both hands down and step your left foot forward. Halfway lift on your breath in, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold and step your right foot back, long stance. Spin the heel down, warrior one. Just like the other side, square off your hips. Push your left hip back and right hip forward. Anchor down through the pinky side edge of your back foot and tuck your pelvis under and forward. Focus on the sensation in your right hip as the hip flexor releases tension. And as you exhale, plant both hands down, step your right foot forward. Halfway lift, full breath in. Exhale, fold. Let's vinyasa. Inhale, sit deep into your chair pose. As you exhale, forward fold. Halfway lift on your breath in. Exhale, fold, and step your left foot back for warrior one. Inhale lifts you up, and that same exhale takes you down. Step your left foot forward. Halfway lift, inhale. Exhale, fold, and step your right foot back. Inhale, warrior one. Exhale, fold. Step your right foot forward. For one last halfway lift, full breath in. Exhale, fold, and find downward facing dog. Tilt your tailbone high. And press your chest towards your thighs. Drive your heels down. And find a calming, deep breath. Next inhale, reach your right leg high. As you exhale, step it through to a low lunge. Spin the back heel down and open up to warrior two. Make sure your right knee is tracking open, not caving in. Tuck your tailbone under just slightly and firm up your abs. Now take your right forearm to your right thigh and reach your left arm overhead for a modified extended side angle. Use your core to support your spine and spiral your heart and ribs up towards the ceiling. Breathe along the stretch in your side body as you keep reaching through your left arm and left hand. Next, inhale, rise up. Take your hands to your hips and pivot your right toes parallel with your left. Inhale to lengthen your spine, and as you exhale, hold. Release your hands wherever you'd like. And try to get some of your weight into the ball mounts of your feet so you can hinge a little deeper into your hips. To come out, bring your hands to your hips, weighten your heels, and inhale to rise. Pivot your right toes to the front of your mat and step your back foot in about a foot. Square your hips and inhale to lift your heart. As you exhale, fold over your right leg for a pyramid variation. Release your hands down to the mat and push your right hip back, left hip forward. Use an expansive breath to get the most out of this pose. To add on, plant your left hand on fingertips and reach your right hand high for a ball triangle. Sometimes the hips can get really wacky here, so take your right hand to your lower back and physically square off the hips. Then reach your right hand high again and keep your spine long as you breathe. Release your right hand down and launch into a standing splits. Sending your left leg high up in the air, try to keep your hips square.
Left. Oh no.
You can use your hands for support or walk them in towards your right ankle to pull yourself in deeper. For chaturanga, step your left foot back, then the right. High to low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Right away, inhale, reach your left leg high. And step it through to a low lunge. Spin the back heel down, warrior two. Check that your left knee is not caving in. Try tracking it open like you're trying to press it over your pinky toe. Tuck your tailbone under. Abs are tight and shoulders relaxed. Drop your left forearm to your left thigh and reach your right arm overhead for your extended side angle. Dial your right armpit up towards the ceiling and keep your heart lifting up. Core is strong, breath is deep. Next, inhale, rise. Take your hands to your hips, pivot your left toes parallel with your right. Inhale to lift your heart. Exhale, fold. This time, let's add a twist. Plant your left hand on the ground under your face and reach your right hand high. Breathe deep and keep your spine long. Replace your left hand with your right and reach your left hand high. Stretch through the shoulders. Bring both hands to your hips and inhale to rise. Pivot your left toes to the front of your mat and step your right foot in for pyramid pose. Inhale to lengthen. Exhale, fold. Release your hands wherever you'd like and push your left hip back, right hip forward. Prop your right hand on fingertips and reach your left hand high for a revolved triangle. check that your hips and lower back are square and even. Then when you reach your left hand back up, breathe full and deep into this twist. Release. Launch into your standing splits and take a similar variation to what you did on the other side. Continue to breathe deep and slow. For chaturanga, step your right foot back, bend your left, and lower down less than halfway. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. And from down dog, drop down to your knees into a tabletop. Then, donkey kick your right heel up to the ceiling and reach back with your left hand to grab your ankle. Breathe deep as you extend your foot into your hand and bow through the back and chest. Gentle release. And switch sides. Kick your left heel up, reach your right hand back to grab the ankle and use the strength of your leg to bow you in this pose. Lift your left knee and right shoulder.
See how hard it is? It's hard. Not easy, folks. It ain't easy. Not for me.
Come back to down dog and separate your feet mat distance. Then walk your hands in about 8 inches. For a down dog twist, reach your right arm under to grab onto your left ankle. As you breathe, inhale to lengthen your spine towards the mat. Exhale to pull yourself underneath your left shoulder. Length on the inhale, twist on the exhale. Breathe deep. Replace your right hand and reach your left hand underneath to grab onto your right ankle. Breathe a twist into your spine as you pull yourself underneath your right shoulder. Micro adjustments with every breath. Release. Come back to a traditional down dog. Then drop down to stand on your knees for camel pose. With your knees hip distance apart, tuck your tailbone under so your hips press forward. You can always modify by tucking your toes under behind you. Place your hands to your lower back, lift your heart and gaze, and as you breathe, slowly melt back into a back bend, with your hips still pressing forward. Focus on lifting your sternum, and if you want to go deeper, try reaching your hands back to touch your heels. Not to rest your weight on your hands, but to help you lift your heart even higher. Try not to hold your breath. Now slowly rise with control and take a seat on your knees and heels. With your hands in your lap, eyes closed, find a deep and calming breath. Come back to downward facing dog. Next inhale, reach your right leg high. As you exhale, find half pigeon. Bring your right knee past your right wrist and flex your right toes back to protect your knee joint. Make sure your hips are square and you're not shifting your weight off to one side or the other. Then when you're ready, slowly lower down as far as you'd like to go. If this pose is ever uncomfortable at all, then consider taking a figure 4 pose to modify until your hips have opened up.
I should probably be doing that.
Now walk your hands back up to your hips and shift your weight off to your right side. Swing your left leg around and over your right leg for cow facing pose. Try to get your knees stacked and ankles pulling in, or modify with your bottom leg straight. Sit up tall and reach your left arm up and behind, right arm under and behind to clasp fingers, or maybe just to reach for fingers. You can always modify by just assisting a tricep stretch instead. Keep your chin up and spine tall. Release, and make your way to downward facing dog. Next inhale, reach your left leg high. Exhale, half pigeon. Track the left knee open, flex the left toes back, and most important is that your hips are even and square. So experiment with the position of your left ankle until you feel square. Then lower down when you're ready to surrender completely. If you modified on one side of the body, you definitely want to do it on the other side for balance, even if the other side feels more flexible. Slowly rise. Shift your weight off to your left side. Swing your right leg around and over for cow-facing legs. Hold the ankles in towards your hips and stack your knees.
Can't do the
Hips
cow
are
legs.
grounded evenly. This time, reach your right arm up and behind, left arm under. Use the tricep assist. Just reach or clasp fingers, but keep your chin up and relax your hips. Breathe. Release the arms. Unravel the legs and plant your hands under your shoulders, feet flat on the mat. Lift up into a reverse tabletop. Keep your hips pressing up and focus on the opening you feel in your shoulders. Lower your hips back down and extend your right leg straight. Take your left foot into your right inner thigh so it looks like that stretch you used to do in gym class. Square your hips off to your right foot by walking your right hip back and scooting your left hip forward. Then reach your arms up overhead, long inhale. As you exhale, fold. You can modify this pose by bending your right knee a little bit. This helps to release your lower back. Now grab onto whatever you can and use a big, expansive breath to lengthen your spine on your inhales and fold a little deeper on your exhales. Rise up and plant your left hand about 2 feet behind your hip. Lift your hips and chest into a counter stretch, breathing as you reach for the back of your mat.
I think I did the wrong side.
Lower down and switch sides. Left leg extends out long and the right foot pulls in. Scoot your left hip back, right hip forward. Modify if you did on the other side and reach your arms overhead. Inhale. As you exhale, fold. Grab on and use micro adjustments with every breath to massage a stretch into your left leg and spine. Inhaling to lengthen. Exhaling to fold. Rise and plant your right hand behind your hip. Lift your hips and heart for a big stretch. Lower down and come to lie down on your back.
Gladly.
Pull your right knee into your chest. Let your left leg lie down on the mat. Focus less on getting that knee close to your ribs and more on the subtle stretch in your lower back. Reach your right arm 90 degrees up from your side and pull your knee across the body for a supine spinal twist. For the bretzel variation, bend your left knee. Reach down with your right hand, your free hand, to grab onto your left ankle. You should feel a stretch in your left quad and hip flexor. If not, try pulling the ankle in a little closer towards your glute. Release, and come back to center. Pull both knees into your chest to massage out your lower back. Rock a little side to side or in little circles, whatever feels good. Then switch sides. Pull your left knee in, release your right leg down, breathing into the stretch in your lower back. Extend your left arm 90 degrees from your side and pull the knee across your body into a twist. For the bretzel, bend your right knee, reach down with your left hand to grab onto your right ankle. Melt your body into place as you pull your ankle in towards your glute. Slowly release and take happy baby pose. Grab the inner arches of your feet, spread your ankles open, keep your lower back grounding down, but if it keeps peeling up, then consider grabbing your ankles or calves instead. If your back is flat, then try rocking side to side to release any last bit of tension. When you're ready, just let go and melt into your final Shavasana. Take up some space on your mat. Walk your shoulder blades down away from the ears. Let your palms face up and feet fall open. And with your eyes closed, relax your eyelids. Relax your eyebrows. Relax your jaw. Allow your whole body to become so soft and so heavy it feels like you are melting through the floor beneath you. Wiggle out your fingers and toes, ankles and wrists. Curl up on one side into a fetal position. And then press yourself up to a seated position with your hands at heart center. The light and the teacher in me honors the light and the teacher in you. Namaste. Drink lots of water and practice the sequence 1 to 3 times a week for maximum improvement. Come find me on Facebook. And if you take a picture of your practice, share it on Instagram with the hashtag sarahbethyoga so I can find it. See you soon.
Maximum, what'd she say? Maximum relax. That was good. You're definitely gonna do that one again. Thumbs up from me. Thumbs up from you? Question? Alright. See you next time.